Glad to be here on the third day of the Agent Bootcamp in SF, where we're learning all of the best tools, the best techniques to get you started with AI, prepare you for the hackathon with SF, prepare you for getting a job in the AI and Web3 ecosystem, prepare you for launching your own startup, maybe prepare you for whatever goals you want to reach this week. I want to provide a good framework, a good environment for you to build a project, for you to meet your team, for you to find good connections here in this space, for you to have a good time with us, for you to have some pizza at the end. And today we are bringing some great speakers. We are bringing Grok to speak about their AI inference APIs. We're going to have some other startup founders and technical founders here. I'm going to guide you through some workshops today for coding with those open source models. You can find all of the information of the schedule here in the Luma page. We are in the third day running open source models, what you can do with it. There, welcome. Okay, today we are streaming through StreamYard. I would invite you, either if you are here or watching this online, to scan this QR code, go for this link, and you are going to have a form for you to fill information about your project. And you can tag, you can select some checkboxes of what you need the most this week, information, if it is rate limits increased for your API providers, if it is like getting access to the grants from Polygon, from OMI, getting access to the OMI hackathon, getting finding a team for you to hack together the hackathon. If you want to have more pizza, so there are all of those checkboxes there for you to fill. You can scan this QR code if you haven't yet, and also you can edit this form later. So even if you don't have a GitHub link for your project yet, you can just subscribe with what you have, and then later, if you enter with the same email, you can update the form. Okay? Try and subscribe with the same email that you did on Luma, if you have subscribed to Luma, or if you're watching this recording, just fill with your main email that you use GitHub or the email that you want us to reach you, and then we can follow up yet this week for you to demo your project, for you to claim those resources, and have a good performance in the hackathon. Okay, so scan this QR code, you should be ready to go. Okay, good. So to start the day, we're going to speak about open source models and techniques that we can build with it. We started with a good overview about generative AI in a very introductory lesson on Monday. Yesterday, we started diving in some tools. We had Prem. Who was here for the talk of Prem? Raise your hand. RJ, you were here. You did a great talk yesterday. Is out there in the back. So Prem was here distributing some good knowledge, some good alpha on running open models with their own API keys, how you can build on them, how you can build RAG. Okay, we had a very good interaction in that workshop. And then later we saw a bit about the near AI, what the capabilities that Web3 and the centralized ecosystems can do for AI application. Chris, this camera is... we have a rogue camera here. Sorry about that. And today we're going to continue that path. Understanding more about these tools and open source models. I would like to invite for us as a speaker, Kartik. You have the stream up. Yeah, okay, good. He's going to present from his stream. He's going to be kicking off today. Want to come? Just one sec. Yeah, just hello, hello. Okay, yeah. Kartik is going to speak about Canvas, and let me give the mic for you. You can take it. And it's going to start the day with tools for yeah, video generating for Gen IV. That's super cool. Let's test in mind. Hey, can you hear me? Good. Okay, that's good. Let's scale. Yeah. I need to unmute because it's good. Yeah. Let me mute myself. Okay, I was going to bring the screen up. Did you share? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's good. Good to go.
Hi everyone, I'm Karthik. I'm from a company called Dabl Inc. So we are a generative AI company who build digital twins of humans. So what it basically means is if you submit a video of like 2 minutes with your voice, you'll be able to generate a digital replica of you, which can talk and speak like you, have lip sync. You can interact with it. You can add it to like as plugins in your website and whatever it is. So we basically a Gen AI company who does like video generation. And then like CVI, which is like conventional video interface too. So we support 30 plus languages. About this, like we have like photorealistic replicas, and we generate video at scale. And to add on to it, so Tavis is now the state of the art in terms of like generating replicas which are emotive, which preserves your identity, which can scale, and basically it's the best in class in almost like every parameter for video generation, and lip sync and so on. So let's see a quick demo of what Tavis is, and then we can like go into like agentic use cases of Tavis too. Okay. So now I'm going to create a conversation with a replica which I already trained. I'm going to create a persona. So I already created a persona for this replica. It's like an AI assistant for coding. Okay. Do we have a mic check and place here?
Yeah, we have mic. Yes, that is him.
Hey, I'm Karthik. So where are you from? I'm into some Python coding, but I'm not so good at coding. Can you help me with it? Just 1 second. I'll be back. Okay. As you can see here, it's like a human which you have trained. So now we are able to capture her expressions, her like identity and everything, and she can interact too. So basically, it's being done with our models called Phoenix 3 models, which we have launched last Friday. It's still in beta actually, and we're already in production, and we have like a lot of customers too. So now let's see like how I can use like I can do screen sharing and like use it as like an agentic partner to this debug my code. Okay. So I will now share my screen. Just help me with it, okay? Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. I mean, yeah, I think when I ran it, I saw an error like this. Does it say the same thing? Yeah, okay. Thank you for helping me. I thought, I mean, I would have been lost without you. Okay. Uh, okay. Can you see me, by the way? Can you see like what I'm wearing? Yeah. Um, so this is a model. As I said before, this like state of the art in terms of like emotion, percent. Yeah. Yeah. Calm down. Just calm down. Yeah. I mean, I'll talk to you in a bit. Yeah. The thing is like, as you can see, like this is a model which we launched on Friday. It's on Phoenix 3. So this is state of the art in terms of rendering, in terms of like emotion quality, in terms of like the speed at which the replicant can like get back, and yeah. So let's see like some more demo of which we have built. Like I mean, some more like more complex demo which we have built. This is
You ever get a call from an A?
this is Mert. It's an engineer from Dabl. So he built a demo which like he is he's a want to be chess player. But he's not so good at it. He wants to use Dabl to like improve his chess skills. So let's see like how he does it.
Before? Thought I'd check in, maybe help with some coding, research, or I don't know, optimize your chess game.
Optimize my chess game. Have you played chess before?
Yeah, I've played chess before. I'm pretty decent at it too. I can give you some general tips like controlling the center of the board, developing your pieces quickly, and protecting your king. What's your current skill level? And what specific areas of the game do you want to improve on?
Okay, bruv, I'm not too bad at chess myself. I'm going to try to play a game with you, if that's all right.
That sounds like a blast. I'm down to play a game with you. We can set up a virtual board and make moves. I'll keep track of everything. You can make the first move, or we can start with a classic opening like the Rue Lopez or the Sicilian defense. What's your preference?
All right, let me share my screen with you here. I'm going to be white and you can be black. So I've made the first move here. What do you want to play on your screen?
I see you've made the first move as white, and now it's my turn as black. Since you've shared your screen, I can see the current position of the board. You've moved your pawn to e4, a classic opening move. I'll respond with the Sicilian defense, moving my pawn to c5. Your turn again.
Okay, I think I'm going to move my knight to f3.
You've moved your knight to f3, a solid choice, developing one of your pieces and preparing to control the center of the board. Now it's my turn again. I'll respond with the move nf6, developing my knight and defending the pawn on e4 as a part of the Sicilian defense setup. Your turn.
Okay, look at my screen and tell me what move I should play next.
1 second, I'll check. I see you've made the moves one. e4 and 2, e4 and 2. ENF responded with one. So 5 and 2, then f6. Considering the current position, I recommend playing D4, aiming to challenge my control of the center and create space for your pieces to develop. This move can also potentially lead to some interesting pawn structures and transpositions. What do you think?
Okay, I'll make that move. How do you want to respond?
Now that you've made the move D4, I'll respond with the move Sex D4, capturing the pawn and opening up the center of the board. This move aims to challenge your central control.
Yeah, so this is like one of the use cases too, and there's like lot more use cases. You can use it for anything. Basically, it's like an extension of you actually, who can help you in whatever you want. So yeah. Oh, okay then. I'll see you later. Bye. Yeah. So this is like one more kind of like an thing which we built. Like it's like a kit tuck, like a very small size, just like fix to a demo. So that's like one more example of like how perceptive system is to like even to any voice actually. So yeah, so that's Tavis. And we're just getting started. So we have a lot more things in pipeline and expect more from us. Thank you. Okay.
People, do you want to try this out? Yeah. Like, raise your hand on. Okay. Let's engage with the
Yeah. To try it, like, can you go to Tavis.io? You don't need. If I think for now it's a closed source thing. Yeah, so basically you don't need an account. You can just like start a conversation with this figure right now. It's one of your previous models, so maybe it's not in the best shape, but you can just try it right now. So yeah, basically you can like start the video chat here. It's on cloud actually. Cloud. It's running on GPUs in the cloud. It takes less than 2 hours. So once you submit your video with some, you don't need to speak anything. You can speak some random thing, some random words. You just need your voice, and in less than 2 hours, there'll be a replica ready for you. Yeah, and you can make a replica to speak in like 35 different languages right now, or maybe it's Spotify right now, so I'm not sure. And yeah. Okay, you can create a free account. So if you can go to Tavis.io, you can create a login with your account. So I already have an account. Let me like log in from my incognito. Or yeah, well, you can use a Gmail to log in, and if you're a free user, I think you don't even like you can basically use a stock replicas to create a connection with it. We'll go to some screen where I haven't logged in before. So were you guys able to log in? It is free tier actually. Yeah. Once you log in, you'll see the screen. You can go to like conversations and basically use the default persona and create a conversation. And you'll be able to like join a conversation. Are you able to do this? Yeah, I'm not sure like the audience are ready. Just 1 second. Are you guys ready? Yeah. If you see now, I created with a free account where I created new Gmail account. I logged in with my new Gmail account, and it's for free users. I think you have like some 100 minutes free, something like that. I'm not sure what's the free trial. So basically, you can just try it out and see like how we can use. And if you want to use this in your site, just 1 second. So this is a pricing plan right now. So in free trial, you can have like 25 free minutes and then like 5 minutes of video generation. And basically, if you want to add this to your site, we provide APIs for you to create conversations, to create persona, to create like context for a persona. You can modify how a persona should reflect or should speak and things like that. And you can create your own replicas, or you can just use stock replicas, which are already trained for you. It's like much cheaper than creating your own custom replicas. And basically, with like API support, you can add it to your site and make it work. So yeah, there's already a lot of uses for us. Many companies are using us already. So yeah.
So when they respond to you generate video API, so you respond, then it takes that, and then it's generating video. I'm looking for that how it goes back and forth.
No, you don't have to like use any APIs. Once you join a conversation, everything is like a streaming setup where there is a model called Sparrow, which like kind of detect your conversation and will respond back. Then the conversation is like just like one-time call which you make to create a new conversation.
So generate video. Generate video.
Oh, there are two things. One is called generate conversation, which is like a CVI model, and one is like generate video. So video is like non-real-time video where you can give the script and you can ask the replica to like speak whatever you want. The CVA model where you're just like a to and fro.
So So I guess yesterday there was a service which allowed the model to fine tune on custom uh, content and also have rack stuff like I have customer name a very specific content they want to add service to theirs. So how would I be able to prevent or would I be able to prevent the custom train on
Yeah. So we do. Yeah, you can provide your own custom model. We'll host your model, and you can basically use that model to basically drive the conversations. We do allow it.
Oh, how do you on these are open source models that are in the LLM.
Yeah, you are fine tune the model, right?
Yeah.
On your yeah. So you can speak with our team. So we will allow you to like post your model, and basically instead of driving with driving the speaking with our model, we'll use your model to like drive the conversation. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If you're fine tuning persona, person smile, the way that's your style, right?
It's
You don't have
it's not as coarse as it. We do like even more fine tuning, like having persona where to talk rudely, to be sassy, to be kind, to be polite, and like we also do like since as you see like our model has like emotion perceptiveness, right? So when they speak, they emote as part of the content they're speaking. So yeah, it's like a whole package of like from like LLM to rendering, where we built our entire model from ground like end to end.
But what is your thought on this like open source and closed source model? Open source models which are allowed to fine tune them to then put them onto a software infrastructure. What's your plan or your thought? This closed source, open source. What is it that you're looking at that like middle space or like what's your thinking about the open versus closed?
I think right now we are like ahead of the competition by far, because like we are so done in like almost like every parameter, and also it's difficult to be like I think it also like costs a lot like to have the GPU like running and rendering. So I also like I'm just I just do like AI research, so I think it's like uh yeah. I mean,
Okay, that's good.
awesome.
Awesome. What are your expenses typical building with Travis? Perfect.
Basically, Taos is like an extension of you, right? So you can basically use it for anything. Like it's like you can just use the creativity and build whatever you want. You can like use it at scale at different websites too. So the limitless. I mean, so things which you can build with Java is like limitless. It just depends on like how you think and how you create. So it's,
I guess I'll create a home for teaching for me, so I can take a vacation and.
for sure. I mean, there are a lot of people who do that.
Wonderful. It's a lot, Carlos. It's all for coming.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for like
Any other questions? Awesome. So it's using computer vision. It's using image generation, like real-time image generation. I don't know how you make it 900 milliseconds. It's amazing. Have anyone here ever tried text to image or even text to video before? Like, raise your hand. Usually take a few seconds to you have a generation, right? Imagine something that can generate in milliseconds, real time. So that
yeah, I'm them. So more than the models, I think the most difficult part is the streaming part, which we have worked a lot on, and we have quantized the model, but still make sure the models are like pretty high quality. You can see the actual human talking about it. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah. It doesn't glitch like it follows it almost like it should be in render. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat anymore, but you did a great job though. Thanks a lot. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to put a QR code or something to put your out to it?
I have my LinkedIn.
Yeah, can you generate a QR code with the link?
How to do?
You put the profile. Click on the profile, copy this. Then you can Google like a QR code generate. Yeah, that's good. Go well. Then you paste here, and then you download this picture. set up with Google some photos. Let me share your screen here. Kartik is going to share a QR code for you all to connect with him. Hello. Okay. Share your screen. Okay. One second. No worries. Okay, you can see our new video. That is good. Okay. You can just scan this QR code. Okay. Get in contact with Kartik on LinkedIn. Let me do that too. I might be out. Oh, we are already connected. Isn't that good? Oh, yes. Good. It won't let me. Huh. You need to scan with your camera, your normal camera. Yeah. That's true. Actually, I should have thought of. Okay. Yeah, that's true. My bad. Thanks. Okay, Chris, the camera's doing wild. That's fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mateus, can you unmute your laptop again? Mateus, if you could unmute your laptop again. All right, give me a second, friends. I'll see if I can break through to him.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Good to go.
All just good. Okay. Wonderful. So, yeah, if you have never tried image generation before, you might not know how amazing this is. But 900 milliseconds is a great latency. Right. Awesome. We're going to speak a lot about this today. Okay. In the past lessons, we tried a bit of OpenAI's APIs. We tried Cloud with from Anthropic, and those are like state-of-the-art models. They are the most intelligent out there now. But we know that there's a big problem on relying on big tech, relying on central players for these models, because we can have like vendor lock-in, we can have a denial of service, they can go offline. There are a lot of SLA problems. I was teaching about image generation in New York in December, and then OpenAI was offline for the whole day. No kidding. So it happens, not that often, but it happens. And we are here in the open source campus to discover ways to build open source AI. We don't have billions of dollars. Actually, I don't have it. I don't know about you. Some of you here might have a few millions, but I definitely don't have. So it's very difficult for me to compete with anything that those big techs are doing. Whenever we try to develop things by ourselves with our own resources that we have, a few $1,000s or hundreds of thousands of dollars mostly, we are going to like we're going to go so far, we're going to fine tune some models, we're going to build a RAG pipeline, yes, but it's very difficult for us to contribute with something that is state of the art. Even though we do have open models. Have you ever heard about Hugging Face? Most of you might have, right? We have models here, AI models, that took millions of dollars, if you combine them all, like billions of dollars from companies, and they are released for free. You can find open source and open access models here, like Quen, DeepSeek, Gemma, Llama, Pi 4, amazing model. Did you guys check this thing released yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess? Yesterday, Gemma 3, 27 billion. It is top elo right now. Let me search for that benchmark again. Gemma 3 elo. Yeah. I had this news somewhere. Someone did this comparison. So this was released today, actually. It was not yesterday. Today, and the Gemma 3 27 billion is top leaderboard on the LM arena, and it is not a reasoning model. It is a normal LLM with visual capabilities. So you can import text to, and you can import English to it, and it's still, and you can run in a single GPU host with it, different from DeepSeek and Llama 405 now, and Poultry Media, of course, that you can. You can run these model geometry, and it's open. Let's go. Well, it's not that. We see all of this evolution in the open source industry. We started with Llama 1, Llama 2, now Llama 3, the small models, the big models, Gemma, Pi, Quen, Mistral, doing Mistral of experts way before DeepSeek, and then DeepSeek 2 delivering. There is a lot of work being done for open source models, but running those efficiently in a cost-efficient way is still tricky, because not only the model part is important, but the infrastructure part is very important too. Sometimes you will hire a lot of GPU clusters, like you have 16 GPU clusters, and your website is doing very well. And then someone posts about you on Reddit, someone posts about you on X, you get famous, and the whole thing goes down. Having it scalable, having it elastic is very difficult, because you need to provide for all this infrastructure. It's very difficult to hire GPUs quickly. There are some providers for that, but it also comes like with SLA, latency for setting it up. So it is still very tricky. To get it running, it's easy. But to get it for you to use and put that on your machine, it is very easy. But for you to build one application using these models, to serve inference with these models for hundreds and thousands of people in a volatile volume, it is very tricky to get that DevOps part correctly. And it's interesting because DevOps is something that we have been doing for decades. AI is something that we have, this kind of AIs with LLMs, we have since GPT-3, GPT-2, 3, BERT, and all. So it is an old problem that is combining with this new problem. How to solve that? So first of all, have you ever tried to running one of these models on your machine? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So for everyone else that you didn't try, do you want for me to show you some ways to do that very quickly? If I can spend like 20 minutes or so on that. What tools do you recommend? Like LM Studio or Llama? What do you guys? Llama. Okay. I have two recommendations on Llama. One of my favorite two, and GPT for all. I like the ethos of them, like LM Studio and GPT-4All, they are kind of similar. I have both of these installed in my computer. So GPT-4All, it's getting a little outdated. Yeah, some people told me that. But it's still open source. If you find a bug in GPT-4All, you can go there and propose a fix. So that is this program. Yeah, mine is outdated. That you can download called GPT-4All. I guess I can do that later. They are not sponsoring or anything, just showing that you can. And the most common way, like everyone is saying here, is Ollama. You can search for that in Google. You're going to find it very quickly. This is the program. This little llama here. Look how cute it is. Beautiful there. Minimalistic. Look at us with that serious look. What do you want to do today? And then it's like ready to go, but it's also expecting to run something and seeing you, my friend. So you can download that program right now on your computer. It is open source too. You can check, for example, Ollama GitHub. And this is the application that they are running. Okay, they have a whole backend set up for you under this program that you can clone the repository, you can build from source, or you can do it on your computer. And what they are doing is nothing like that. They are not solving the big issue of running AI stuff from your computer. They are solving the issue of making that easy. Okay? Because you can run AI on your computer, for example, with the Transformers library. Transformers from Hugging Face, not the ones from the cars. Like this library, you can run it with PyTorch, with Flask. You can run with JAX, TensorFlow. You can run this on your computer using Transformers. You just set up the Python code and all, and it works. But Ollama is making it super easy. You just download this binary. I can wait a little while for you to download if you want. Ollama. You can download it for Mac, for Windows, or for Linux. And when you start it on your computer, when you start this program on your computer, you are going to have a server listening using your own resources. If you have a GPU, that is good, but if you don't have, it's going to use your own CPU and memory for running models. And depending on the amount of memory you have, the amount of CPU you have, you can even run some decent models. Of course, you're not going to run DeepSeek R1. You're not going to run Llama 405 billions on your computer, unless you have a laptop of this size. But you can run like Gemma. You can run Pi, you can run Gemma, you can run Tiny Llama, you can run Llama 3, 1 billion, 2 billions that are decent models that you can run on your computer. Something that is close to edge intelligence. Edge, your computer. Okay? Let me show you this. I have it here on my computer. I have Ollama, and to run it, you just need to do some command like this on your terminal. After you install Ollama run, and then the name of the model. Okay. I'm going to try one of those Gemma models that were just released today. Let me see how long it takes to download, because we're going to crash the Wi-Fi right now because we're going to download this a few times. My computer is shaking already. Look, it's hesitant even to open the terminal. I guess it knows what's going to happen. Calm down, my boy. I'm going to go easy on you. So I'm going to run Ollama that I have in my computer terminal. Okay. Open. This is Ubuntu, okay, but it works on Linux, on Mac, or whatever. After you install Ollama, you can run a command like this: Ollama run, and I have this Llama 3.2 on my computer. Let me show that for you. I'm going to try. Ollama serve. I guess this is the problem. Okay, yeah. Here I do have an NVIDIA GeForce 4070, so I do have 7.6 gigabytes of virtual memory available. It's not that much, but it's decent. Okay, If you have a Mac with an M1 or M2, it can be a little tricky, but anything as an M3 and after is great for AI. If you have Intel chip, can be a little tricky. If you have AMD, maybe AMD drivers can work in some case. But having a NVIDIA GeForce or anything like that for inference, your life is going to be super easy. Okay, Mac M3, they are doing a good job on AI inference too. Now that I have this going, I'm going to run this command again. Let me see if it's going to work. Yeah, I guess I disabled my Olama. Okay, so it is downloading that. Okay, actually I need to do something first. Sorry. I do have a folder in my computer. Export. Just a configuration of my computer. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to run the Olama 3.2 that I do have in my computer. Okay, and it's working. I can send a message now. Hello. Hello, how can I assist you today? This is entirely running on my machine. Okay, there is no internet connection required for me to do that. If I'm lost in an island, plane fell or boat, stranded in an island without internet access, but I do have like solar panels or something that I can power my computer, then I can use that. For example, I'm hurt, or a spider bit me. A spider bit me, and it's hurting. What should I do? So even without Googling it, AI can start giving me answers for things. What I should do, what medication should I go? Remember that this is an AI that can hallucinate, it can suggest me to chop off my arm, it's possible. But it's cool. Even without internet, can start having some AI influence, right? And I'm going to try this new model that was just released today. Oops. What is it? Gemma 3. Let's see how it goes. Let's download 3.3 gigabytes. Pulling manifest is downloading. Okay, it's going to take less than 5 minutes. Good. Let me see. Anyone need help from setting up Olama? Not saying that you should download Gemma 3, but I'm very excited to try this out. If anyone wants help downloading Olama, let me know. Today, the whole day is about testing open source tools and open models in which you go. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Who else is trying that? Anyone else? I do have a Windows notebook in this computer, and that is a tool that I have been experimenting that works very well on Windows because of the configurations and all. If you have a RTX card that is chat with RTX, this program you can use your NVIDIA graphic card on Windows to chat with your own files, to do custom rec with your own spreadsheets and all on your computer. Okay, NVIDIA is working closely with Windows for that. So in some cases, it can even be better than Olama if you are running on Windows. But if you're running on Linux, on Mac, Olama is the way to go. I'm super excited to try Gemma. 69%, that's nice. Got that in camera. Anyone have questions in the meantime? Okay. Well, we lost it now. But I didn't do anything. Okay. Classic. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Here we are downloading Geometry. Just released it today, or I'm not sure it was yesterday. Maybe they announced it today. And this is one of the top Apple's AIs right now. Not this version of Geometry for Windows, but the 27 billions, which is a quite small model that is reaching up bigger models like reaching up offshore gaming, reaching up deep secrets. That's one thing to see. Okay, with 3.2 gigabytes download, maybe there's more to come. But it's fine, it's good. I'm downloading this model on my machine locally. After I finish downloading, I don't need internet anymore. I can do this whole inference from. May need to upgrade. Why didn't it check before? Right? Like you could have checked that before. Oh yeah, I'm going to download the whole thing just to tell it that's not compatible. Bummer. Stop this. That's crazy. I'm updating Olama right now. Might take a little while. So, yeah, it makes sense because it is a new model. Last time I checked, Gemma was using flash attention. Don't know if anyone studied this recently. I didn't have time to check on Gemma 3, but flash attention needs to have some specific setup for it to work right. No, maybe I'm tripping here. I'm speaking about pi, maybe. Let me check that. Yeah, I guess I saw that in Pi. Pi 4 is using flash attention. Yeah, but I don't know about Gemma. Let's see on Gemma 3. Gemma 3. When it was released, Hugging Face. Okay. So using transformers here. Yeah, I guess it doesn't use flash attention. Sorry about that. Was confusing with the Pi mod. Okay, but this updating anyway. Almost last month. Some the files here. Yeah, 17 hours ago. Yes, it's quite recent. So let me update my Olama. Oh yeah, it's taking a lot. So maybe we want to chat about something else. It's funny, it's taking more time to install Olama than to download the model itself, but that's okay. So if you have Olama installed there, if you have the Llama 3.2 installed, which would be the default for it, you can chat with it in your own computer, right? Recapitulating what I was saying 20 minutes ago, this is very good when you are using this yourself, when you put that in the user's computer. It's not very good with phone yet. Although if you have a phone like Pixel 9, yes, it can run Gemma on itself, but in most phones you can't do this kind of edge AI yet. People are trying to bring that to the browser. That is a developer version of Chrome where you can run the AI in the browser itself, like the Google Chrome, Apple Chrome. But it is still a little difficult to ship that for the edge users, especially when most of the population of the world are still using old Android phones that don't have this much capability. So you still need a server for that. But each user is going to chat with the AI, is going to consume some interaction with the AI. Each user is going to use like 100% of a GPU like this, RTX 4070, like the one I have. Or maybe you can host two users per GPU, and then your user count can be like this: 1,000 users, then 0, then 1,000 again. 200. How do you solve that? It is very cheap. Okay? Imagine you're running those instances back and forth. Okay? My Obama installation might take a while. I don't know if you should wait. I can take a few questions in the meantime. But I'm going to show a solution for that. A way for you to have good, fast, scalable inference with open models without having to have all of the networks. Okay, how the model can be run or executed locally? So these models are based on the transformers architecture. So transformers is a deep learning architecture that whenever you do the training phase, you will store a matrix of a lot of bits there. And those 3.2 gigabytes that you downloaded a while ago is exactly that model containing that amount of data. So you download that already pre-trained. Someone trained that before, published those weights, and then when you run on your computer, you don't need to do all of the work of turning off now that you do require all of the work you do. You can run something like this because the inference itself, there is no backpropagation, there is no convolution, there is no recurring network there. It is just a simple forward process where you go from the prompt that you're receiving, the tokens from the prompt that you're receiving, to the final output that is the probability of the input. So it is much more lightweight than the training. You might be used to all the models like CNNs, RNNs, or the whole field, right? This is one of the advantages of transformers, of the transformer-based architecture. You can train it before, and then you do inference. This is why they call it GPT, generative pre-trained transformers. This is the technical. Less technical detail that goes over, but this little technical details enables this kind of thing to happen. In the first lesson this week, we saw the transformer explained to understand this is not reasoning, and then we cover some of those technical details. I know it sounded boring the first day. Now we are seeing why we saw these kind of things. Who was here the first day, by the way? You were, like you 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Keep having new people. Let's accommodate everyone. Okay, about 10% to go for us to test the new model. And I'm going to show a solution instead of running that in a machine, a solution to track online. Okay, that's this much more. And then we get to the error again. That could happen, you know. Let me serve. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's working. So how many R's there are in Raspberry? Okay, that's good. It got it correctly. How many R's there are in the word strawberry? Okay, that's very good. Yeah, that is intelligent. Sally has 5 brothers. Each brother has 2 sisters. How many sisters does Sally do? Deuce, right? Just sorry about that. English is not my first language. What I'm doing? Once that's good. That's very good. It's very good. Have you ever tried this question for one model? Yeah. So yeah, they shaped a very good one. That's nice. Okay. You are very smart, aren't you? Okay, it's a good latency here. So this is a very intelligent model running in a, don't know, 1,000 something dollars, maybe less, maybe 800 nowadays. That can handle this in almost real time speed. You can't be using that for a lot of common work that they're doing. I have some people developing the agents. I have a friend that developed like a box, a Pelican case box that you can have a Jetson manual running the eyes. So it's like waterproof. It's resistant. Like for those preppers, who's a survivalist here? Imagine you can have a box in your home with AI if you don't have internet. So okay, this is running on your computer. It is impressive. Yes, maybe it's nothing new for most of you here, but it is interesting. We can have very good intelligence, state-of-the-art intelligence without paying per call. We could be chatting with this AI for the whole day without paying a subscription for OpenAI or for Cloud, whatever. They charge per million tokens, remember? So this is going to be free. So it's good for me that I'm using, but it's very difficult to shape that for the end user, right? Now let me show you an alternative for that. What if I had a free service that is scalable online, and I do have some rate limits, but you can even have increased rate limits with Grok Playground. I'm going to take 20 seconds of each of you to go to this link, console.grok.com. Then you can log in with your own GitHub or with your own Google account or something like that. Console.grok.com. You can log in with Google, with your email, with GitHub, whatever you want. You can create a free account if you want more rate limits. If you want more rate limits, you can upgrade here. But even with the free account, you can pick any of these models. When DeepSeek, Gemma 2, they might add Gemma 3 soon enough. We do have biggest models out there, 3.37 billion, which is quite good. I can't run this model in my computer. I don't have not even 1/3 of the GPU memory VRAM needed for running that. So it is out of reach for me. But here with Grok, it's super fast and it's free. Do not blink, okay? Hello. I'm going to send, submit, and then the answer came in 41 milliseconds, 275 tokens per second, for free. I do have a rate limit here, but if I keep my reasonable usage, I can serve that for hundreds, if not thousands of users, managing those skills correctly or managing my plan correctly, and have a very good fast inference. They have a kind of hardware called LPUs, that are language processing units. They are fabricated here in the United States. So there are some strategic things behind that. And you can have very good and fast inference. It's not just advertising, something like that. I'm giving you a tool that is for free, and then you can use for serving good AI for your clients. They are privacy preserving too. They don't have the logs. A lot of benefits. So if I ask something bigger, like tell me a very, very, very long story, bedtime story for my kids. Okay. Look at the speed of this generation. The time for the first token to come. Okay, it was 3.73 seconds of output in total. The time to the first token was just a few, like 30-20 milliseconds, and this whole story was generated in less than 4 seconds. Okay? with the model here, it is Llama 3, so it has a good accuracy. It's not about Grok, the accuracy itself. You know, it's more about the model, the configurations that you're using. But the throughput here is insane. It's very good for well, if you do that with OpenAI, I don't want to kick at that dog here, but I'm going to try the same thing with the model, ChatGPT, for example. Let me use the playground to level up the game. Like playground with the platform, not OpenAI. Yes, I do have cloud credit there. This is paid. And I'm going to go there for doing this generation. I'm going to use my Google account where I have some credits there. And I'm going to use GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini, for example, that are very fast. Okay, if you go for the model's capabilities here, I have this. I do have a comparison of these models here. There's a place where I have all the models in side by side where they speak about the performance here model. So, for example, GPT-4o, they say that is medium speed. Okay, let me try GPT-4o mini. So one that they say that is fast. Okay, 4o mini, they say that is a very fast model and it's paid per input. It's not like Grok that is feeds. It's paid. So let me go for the playground. Let me select that model. Playground. Use it to be like a chat playground here. Let me try with the GPT-4o mini that is say that is fast. Let me try this message without any system prompt. Let me see the performance. Okay. First token came with a few milliseconds. I don't know how. And here's generating. I guess 4 seconds have passed it already, right? Let's keep it going. Okay, that's good. That's a big one. How many tokens we had here? We had a total of 275 tokens per second with a total of 1,000 tokens. Here, we received 1.5 thousand tokens. Yes, but in 30 seconds. So let me see how, yeah, I did it. But it took 10 times more to generate this amount of tokens. And they charged me for that. Okay, the model is more advanced than 3.2 maybe. But there are some benchmarks. For Q&A now that they don't do very well too. They have problems with their backends. Some even said that they don't have the GPUs for anyone now. So even though they are advancing a lot in the model intelligent parts, they have just released a great framework for agents. Just yesterday, I'm eager to have here maybe tomorrow or maybe speaking about that. See the study, the response API. They are doing very good advancements in that part, but for API inference, to provide the service of inference, they are not top performance anymore. Especially if you are even cost per token, performance per token. Okay? So this is why I wanted to bring this content for you today. Using Grok, this kind of service, you can run it on your machine using Llama, or you can serve it for end users. If you create an API key here, for example, you can use the same power, the same performance that you have in the playground. You can provide that for your end users too. Okay? And it's OpenAI compatible too. Okay? So that was the idea. So today we are going to have Grok finished up while half an hour from now. We do have another talk now that we wanted to explore about agents using open models. Okay, I'm going to check it for that. And if you want to have like a 5-10 minutes break, restroom, water, there are some drinks there, some snacks, then we come back in 5 minutes. Okay. We'll see if we have questions in the chat in the meantime. Gail, how's the chat going?
We're watching along pleasantly.
You all to hear. Oh, yeah. Let's start.
Cool. Hi everyone, I'm June from SampUp.ai. We help you to generate customized POCs in minutes instead of 2 weeks just by prompting. So just a quick summary is that if you want to build an app from scratch, this is the kind of tools that you have to use today to get to a working product. You have to probably use V0 Bootcamp, you get a front-end UI. After that, you have to use Cursor to build your backend, Docker to do deployment, Set3 for analytics, and many other tools. It's too difficult to get one app into production. What if there's a tool that allows you to just prompt and get to an app in just minutes? So that's what we do. We allow developers to build custom POCs or sample applications on top of any public or private API or SDK or frameworks just by prompting. So over here is you are able to build on top of different APIs and as simple just by talking to it. And I'm just going to show you a quick demo. So over here, before I start the demo, right now I'm trying to build an app to basically convince Sephora to integrate with my Stripe API. And I'm an engineer from Stripe. So I basically write in what's the prospect information I'm selling to Sephora, Sephora's website, which is the website that I want it to look like, some images from Sephora. I upload my own company's API spec file. And once done, I will need to write what requirements I would want in the app. So some of the requirements I want is that whenever I add to cart, I'm able to check out using Stripe API. And this is something that I have no idea like how to use. So once done, you click on next. You can see that it takes a bit of time to plan and think, and you can just start generating an entire app in front of you. This is an entire Next.js app that uses Stripe API and SDK just within minutes. You can see the entire logs over there as well at the bottom right. And once it's done, when you press next, and in about 15 minutes, you can get to something like this. And this is just the UI. So right now, I'm going to try test out the integration with Stripe. So over here, what I'm doing is that I basically added 2 items to the cart. I click on proceed to checkout. And right now, in minutes, I have a Stripe integration ready. It's as simple as that. Other than that, there's also a bunch of things you can do. You can ask it to create like a food mockup. So I just type into it, can you build me a food mockup? You can see that it takes a while to generate once again. And once it's done, you'll see an entire food mockup ready for you. Then you can use it to showcase whatever app and ideas that you have instantly. And we support, other than Next.js, we support Python and Fast API as well. So you're able to test out the different routes, the backend routes, front end, everything. So these are some of the use cases that you can use our tool to build. Just start prompting and it's as simple as that. And second thing that I would love to share today is also getting an idea for any API out simply. So over here, we build playgrounds and we work with API companies to build multiple playgrounds. So I built a Stripe playground, Twilio playground, and I think one thing that I'm super excited is to maybe build something like a Polygon playground where you can just type into it, type what kind of things you want to build. You want to build a smart contract, you want to build, etc. And it goes into an app immediately on top of Polygon. And just to show you guys how it will look like is that over here I built an app on top of Grok's API. I upload Grok's API, and right now I have a Sephora app. I just type into it, and entire chat response is all powered by Grok's API. And all I took was about 5 prompts, and it's just prompting. Yeah, and that's all I have today. Do try out, scan this QR code, go to sampleapp.ai, and I would like to let you guys try out and let me know what you think. Thank you.
Anyone have questions? Good. Should we build something live? Do you guys have any questions? Do we have any questions from online?
All right, everyone, open up sampleapp.ai and let's give it a try. Let's all build something right now live. Sound good? Can we do it?
That's good.
Okay, great. Everyone in the room, let's pick an idea. Who has an idea for an app to build? Jackie, you got it? What do you want us to build?
Yeah.
I kind of do. Attestation platform over here.
I wonder if you go strictly logistic stack. Logistic stack.
I don't know what Bootbatika is, but I don't.
Oh, okay. So the idea is like this. If we have good enough fast inference, and if we use that for code generation, we can have apps in like 30 seconds like this instead of a few minutes, right? So, for example, using the Grok APIs that we have the last demonstration, you can generate like thousands of lines of code in a few seconds instead of a few minutes, like the OpenAI playgrounds.
Yeah.
Comparing those. The same thing that applies to text also applies for text to code. If the code is just a original text.
Yeah,
So-
we have something in beta now, but basically it's like grok.sampleapp.ai. You can go there and start typing and build something on top of Grok's API. So feel free to try it out and give us some feedback. It's very early for the collaboration, so there might some bugs, but yeah, do let us know.
In fact, they have this arrived. Yes,
Great
what a-
question. You mentioned like like you have an example. How does it say there's a smart contract and then you use like JS?
Oh yeah, so I think it's something that we're trying to explore right now with that. So just it was a playground idea that we thought of just now as well. So we thought we want to try it out, and once we have updates, we'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can try Grok, the simple
Yep.
app.ai right now, right?
Yep.
But let's try one of these ideas. Let's try a pizza ordering app, something like that. Something fun. Let's see how it goes.
What do you want?
Pizza ordering app.
So what are we building now?
I think it's just building. It's all apps, so I haven't tried. So
Oh, let's build a pizza app. We're gonna have a. What do you guys want for dinner tonight? Can we do pizza again tonight? We've had pizza every night for 2 nights, so or maybe we'll change it up tonight and have not pizza. But we'll be having a pizza party here after the big closing ceremony on Sunday night. We're also going to be having a demo day on Friday and on Saturday, as well as another demo day. You can find the link to one of those demo days by scanning that QR code right there, or go to our link tree and you can sign up for the demo days. The demo days are not here; they're 10 minutes away at 4th and Folsom. Question? So the question, just to repeat it for everybody, is she's trying to build an app that finds nearby, that has access to nearby salons. So you can crawl Google Maps API likely to find that information. You could also probably crawl a few other APIs that could have that information. I don't think there's a Google Maps API server on MCP right now, but you could use web crawling as well to just do Google, like do a search for a directory of those. So I guess the question was more for you, is how could we do something that crawls maybe all the pizza restaurants nearby?
yeah, so we got pizza sauce now.
We got Pizza Paradise set up. So we built a pizza restaurant. Wow, it looks really nice. I'm kind of getting hungry for pepperoni or Hawaiian.
Yeah, but to answer the question as well, yeah, just to briefly answer your question. So after you register an account and log in, there'll be a part where you can upload some a public API spec file and basically either an open API spec file or basically link to the documentation for Google. Once you're done that, I create a project, it will now have the knowledge and start building on top of it. Yeah, so as long as you provide the spec file and that explains what's the input and output response schema for the API spec file and upload to the platform, you're able to start building.
Yeah, that's great. More questions. Did you want me to go through here? What's the question?
So, question about this platform too. So, I mentioned that you can generate that info. So, let's say you have like a developer that they set up, you know how to set up an OA to set up an API key. How would you create one or essentially put that to sort of rag or this system to utilize?
Let's summarize it.
Actually, I'll try to summarize that, which is like, how would I pull in outside information into RAG into this? So if I have a data set, how can I bring my data into sample app? So where do I take, like, I already have my data set. How do I import that and give it that RAG-like functionality?
Is the data set in the database or like is it like where's the data right now? Like MongoDB? Yeah, so let me just quickly go there. So when you go to the platform, there's a create project. So when you click on project, so like test project for example, there's a part where you can upload files. So you can use that to provide context. So right now we accept JSON, YAML, Markdown file. So you'll need to convert to that format for now. Yeah. Yeah, so for example, if I have a website, I can just provide maybe, let me try like what website? Polygon?
Sure.
Yep, so let's just go back. So I can just provide that. And I can say either bulk add link, so you'll basically try to crawl everything under Polygon, which I might regret because there's probably a lot of links there. There's like 1375. Okay, we're not doing that. So
Too big of a website.
yeah, so like you could do one. So add link. And basically you'll get the information from there and adds as context.
Thank you. Great question.
What's the pizza app?
It's the pizza
Okay,
paradise, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
So one of them is if I use APIs, if I use private APIs, that I have like key, and I can upload the key to access the APIs or what different.
It's your private API and like fast API plus.
You know, for example, let's say I want to use I'm making an app and it's using the Grok API or Google Search API. That's the third party. But you need my key and then you need an endpoint to use the API. That like you can do, so I can just say, here's the link to the API reference. Securely, here's my key. Now I'm going to need to be able to do a Google search or I use Firecrawl, crawl this thing. Like, is able to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, so so over here, whatever documentation link you have, you upload as a link here. So that links to basically the API documentation. As for the secrets, we wouldn't want you to upload to us. So basically how it works is that if I go back to the app itself over here, you'll see there is an entire Next.js app. And basically at the bottom, if you're building with secrets, there'll be an EFP file. So you put in the EFP file. So that will only be passed to the app at runtime, so we won't have access to it.
And they will be able to know, oh, is this a bearer token versus an XAPI?
Yeah, so that will be in the documentation. So we'll extract from that. Yes. So like I think one thing that I might have missed out is that just now I talked about the problems of deployment. So over here right now you can see it being previewed. When you click on here, it actually goes to a public URL. That now if I go to basically incognito and paste it, it's actually a fully deployed app. So it's don't have to deal with any of this like deployment issues as well.
Sort of back in the scheme. So let's say I do a first pass, I'm like, okay, it's pizza names, blah blah blah. but now I want to link to a location. Something else that would change.
So that, I think that's where you can add in like I like that question as well. I think you can probably add in Google Maps API. So over here,
Even let's say you have a backend, you store it, are you persisting it? Yeah. Those are
so this app itself right now, it doesn't have a database yet. So you could just say like add like database connection to Supabase, for example.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think that's something you are trying to improve. So right now it might not be really perfect, but you'll get better.
Still different the schema. Migrate the schemas. You'll do it on its own. Like, is it iterative? So let's say I want to have, pizza. The next I want to have people who have eaten pizza. So that's the schema with the relationship. Would update it, like allow me to have.
Yeah. So whatever you type here, I think the question is like whether would it update the code here? Is it one type? So whatever you can say like update UI, for example, and it's able to look at the entire code here, do a bit of planning, and you can see that once it starts planning, I guess so you'll basically update the file.
Does that mean it'll also?
So you'll update the schema, etc. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, if it can update existing backend schema, that's
If the backend is on our platform, then yes. If it's like on a separate platform, then you wouldn't have control to it because you probably need MCP or something.
so even if we gave you the API to some of things, like posting some of things, that like some of things would be able to go in.
As of right now, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you guys build it back in.
Next year is like front end, back end. So, but I'm happy to answer any questions like privately later. If it's good. Yeah.
So, Jun, how people would contact you? You have a preferred channel like LinkedIn or Telegram, something like that?
Yes. Thanks for that question. So we have some. So you scan the QR code. It's our website and QR code for any feedback and join our Discord channel. And let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's great.
We're now at 185 people live, so say hi to all your friends. You gotta say hi to this mic, right? Oh.
Hello, everyone online. We're going to start with the perhaps we're going to start with the workshop in Grok. We have Grumman here, and I guess Sarit is not presenting. Hello. Oh, wonderful! We have a full production today. Okay, so we have been using Grok for a little while. We saw the capabilities of it. Right now, we're going to say firsthand speak about open models that can run on Grok. So we're charging everything that you want to do with Grok APIs.
Thank you. Fantastic. Can you guys all hear me?
Yes.
Cheers.
Start sharing the screen and show here. Click here. There you go. Wonderful.
Awesome. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys have been having a fun AI bootcamp learning some cool skills. My name is Graham Spee. I'm a senior product marketing manager here from Grok, and so today I'm going to give you guys a little bit more background on Grok from what you've already heard through this course, and then dive into a handful of application examples just to continue to inspire what you guys can build using Grok's fast AI inference and all the skills that you've been learning over the past few days. Then we'll dive into any questions, but if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, I want this to be open and dynamic, so by all means, raise your hand, ask the question, we'll hit on one accordingly. Sound good? All right, so at Grok, we specialize in providing record-setting fast AI inference across text, audio, and vision modalities. We make that available to the world through our cloud, Grok Cloud, and through there we host a variety of models for you guys to use, run, and build into your applications. And we offer all of that at a very competitive price point.
It's actually, as you guys have seen, free to sign up and get started. And we always have a free tier that never expires. But as you move up and across the tiers, it has increased rate limits, some additional features like batch and flex tiers and things like that, help build new and different types of applications and really take something from a POC all the way to production. And I get these questions asked all the time, so I like to start with this just to set the record straight. We don't make any of the models that we deploy on Grok Cloud stand up, at least not yet. And there's no such thing as a Grok with a QLLM. We use openly available and now a few closed source models that we make available through Grok Cloud. And really, we're keen on the openly available open source ecosystem. There's a reason why nearly every single server in data centers runs Linux versus a closed source operating system. Time and time again, open always wins. And we want to continue to bolster and support the openly available open source community, because we want to keep the destiny of AI in the hands of everyone versus just the elite few. And our secret sauce behind our performance is our LPU, or our language processing, which we'll dive into in a little bit. And just to give you a sense of the speed, before we dive into demos, this is a screenshot from Artificial Analysis, which is one of the leading third-party benchmark providers in the space. And we're showing performance for Llama 3.370 billion. But if you notice the footnote at the bottom, this is based on multiple 1K prompts, running 10 of them simultaneously. And that's important because a lot of folks will show a single 100 token prompt or 1K prompt, but it's not realistic of an actual real world use case. When you get to a production application, or even a lot of the demo or POC applications, you'll be running multiple prompts simultaneously, especially when it comes to agentic workflows, multimodal apps. And so you want to show performance that's representative of that usage. And so when it comes to those multiple prompts, nobody can keep up with our speed, which is really a reflection of our underlying growth. And because of that performance, we've grown to over 1 million developers on Grok Cloud in just a little over 1 year since launching. And that's what created a viral moment for us and had a bunch of folks talking about us online, excited about using Grok, and really building into all sorts of applications, because we're empowering folks to finally take AI and unleash the full potential of what you can do with it, so you can have that fast inference to actually take something from a POC or demo into a production application. But let's dive into what the LPU is. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the CPU and a GPU. And the GPU emerged in the 90s to offload graphics-intensive tasks from the CPU, like rendering and gaming. Well, we offload the inference-intensive tasks from a GPU. To be clear, GPUs are great for training. They're just really poor when it comes to fast AI inference, because they weren't designed for AI. They really were designed for graphics and happen to be good at matrix multiplication and things like that, which is the core to AI workloads. But it's a general purpose device that now they're trying to use for inference, and then you get bottlenecked because it just can't keep up with the speed that you need to make something actually shot. And that's where we come. When you have those inference-intensive tasks, we specialize in running the AI inference tasks. We actually designed and optimized this chip specifically for AI inference from the beginning. And the cool thing is, our current chip's actually on a 14 nanometer process technology, which is a 10-year-old process technology compared to the latest GPUs or even other accelerators out there, which are on 3 and 5 nanometer, the bleeding edge. And we're outperforming all of them, which is a testament to how much better our architecture is and how well suited it is for AI. Now, this chip doesn't have any control logic on it. Everything's done through our compiler and our software. So it allows us to maintain perfect predictability or determinism as we deploy workloads on it and scale up and out to data center scales with new routes. And that really allows us to get to Grok Cloud, which is powered by the LPU. So we take those chips, we take a single one of those, put it in a card, 8 of those cards into a node, and then 8 of those nodes into a rack. And that's what's powering Grok Cloud at the back end, which is invisible to you all, so you see it just from API access. The other thing that's nice about Grok Cloud is it's easy to switch over and get started. If you've been building with OpenAI or any OpenAI compatible endpoint, it's literally 3 lines of code to switch over your application. All you have to do is change out the base URL, enter in your Grok API key, and then call the model you want to get up and running, and you're good to go. And one of our unique selling points we have, since we're only vested in inference and not training, it's fully secure and private. We have SOC 2 compliance, GDPR compliant, and we don't store any of the information that gets sent when you run a prompt or call a model on Grok. Rather, it's only stored in memory for the duration of your session. So when you're having that request being sent, and as soon as you're done with that session and it ends, it's erased forever. So there's no way for us to even access your information if there wasn't interest. If you want to learn more about that, we do have trust.grok.com, which talks about all of our security policies and our compliances. But rest assured, there's Grok Cloud is completely private and safe to use, and there's no exposure of your data. I know there's been some concerns in the community about models like, let's say, DeepSeek R1, and that exposing information back. Everything's run on our own systems in data centers. Yeah. Good question. Good question. So right now we have like the DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama and Distill Quen. I can't talk about publicly when full DeepSeek will be coming, but just stay tuned for stuff in the next coming weeks and months. Yeah.
How does similar different from Together AI, like kind of look at both of them and try to evaluate
Yeah.
Grok together, just kind of reason what's the reason to use one of them?
Yeah. So with Together AI, Together is similar in the fact that they offer an inference API endpoint that you can call on your application. They're also OpenAI endpoint compatible. Well, Together, what they're doing is they're actually powering their cloud with GPUs from NVIDIA to deploy all their inference. Whereas everything in our cloud is powered by our LPUs, which is why it's so much faster. So if you look at benchmarks from providers like Artificial Analysis, I think Together is actually on the slide. So you can see right here, Together AI Turbo is probably a little bit hard to see back there, down about 152 tokens a second, along with 370 billion. And we're getting, 1,800 tokens a second.
So it's the trade-off in speed versus being trained. Looking at their docs, looks like there's fine tuning. I guess you don't need fine tuning problems. It's just what the model is.
Correct. Yeah, at least for right now, we just have the vanilla model, if you would, for lack of a better term, stood up. We will be adding capabilities like fine tuning in the future, but we've just had so much insatiable demand for that base model on our platform that we've been focusing on serving capacity to serve the broader market versus select folks. We do offer, sending up fine tuning models for some of our enterprise customers, but we do plan to roll that out to our on-demand tiers in the coming months.
You mentioned something that probably
Good question. Good question. I get asked this all the time because folks want to put an LPU in their workstation or their desktop at home. We don't sell any LPUs to consumers. Maybe at some point down the road, but with our current generation, we only deploy it in data centers. So it's really suited for data center and heavy edge inference. It's not viable for putting it into your home PC or workstation. Any other questions? All right, let's continue then. Now, I think you guys have already gotten access to Grok Cloud and got signed up. Thumbs up, awesome. If you guys didn't, you can scan that QR code, log on your email and get started. But we have a variety of models up on there and running, everything from Llama 3.3 and different versions of the 3.2, 90B, and 11B for vision capabilities. We also have the latest models from Quen, like QWQ 32B, as well as Quen 2.5, 2.5 Coder, DeepSeek R1 Distill, and a constant growing set of models. We also offer speech text with OpenAI's open source Whisper v3 Large to help speed up your transcription and translation workflows, which I'll actually demo a little bit of that for you guys in a second. And then we have integrations with a number of growing sets of integrated providers, everybody from TrueAI to LangChain, Llama Index, Toolhouse, Arise, you name it. And that's constantly growing because we want to enable you with all the tools you need to actually build out your application and not have to have the trade-off of, I want something to be fast, but I need something with a native integration to this other integrator tool. And if you guys haven't checked out TrueAI, when you're building out agentic workflows, I highly encourage you to. It makes life a lot easier when you get into those types of things. So with that, I want to share with you guys a handful of demos just to help inspire what you build and show what you can do with different sorts of things when you access Grok's inference speed. And the first of which is Blog Wizard. It's actually live for anybody to access by you have that first link there. And if you want to fork the Git repo and help that inspire what you build, the Git repo link's right there. It's completely open source. But we designed this application to help speed up the process of taking a single source video content and then converting it to different sorts of mediums so you can have that content go broad. And so you can imagine if you have a video, now you can take that video and instantly generate a blog and then translate that blog or summarize the content for like a LinkedIn post, for instance. Now you can take your content and hit numerous mediums all automatically using inference running in Grok Cloud. So let's talk a little bit to that. So, see to enter my Grok API key. And for the purposes, you can't upload a YouTube link. For the purposes, I have a video I downloaded ahead of time. I actually find the longest part of running this demo is extracting the audio from a live YouTube link. But we have that capability as well. It just slows down the whole process. So if I pull up, so video I downloaded from YouTube. It's a blog that one of our customers does with his daughter. And so if I go ahead and I click generate, what's going to happen is going to extract all that audio and transcribe it using Whisper V3 Large running on Grok, then pass that transcript into two different agents. The first is Llama 370 billion, which builds the outline of the blog, and then Llama 38 billion to fill in the body copy. The reason why we do those two different ones is because Llama 370 billion is really good at outline structure and understanding that context, but Llama 38 billion is faster, so you get the best of both worlds. You have a structured blog, but then the content for the body copy is fed in really quickly. So you can see now we have a blog that's generated based on the transcript of that video, but I can go further. Now let's say we want to translate that into German, for instance. I'll click on German. It'll run that back through Llama to translate that into German, and then spit out that same exact blog now in German. So you can hit numerous international markets with that content. So as you can see, it's now translated to German. But let's say you want to go ahead and post that blog onto LinkedIn. Now I'll pass that back through and format it for LinkedIn because LinkedIn penalizes you in their algorithm when you don't have content that's native to that platform. So if I were, for instance, just to post a link to that blog on LinkedIn, it'll get deprioritized. They want that native source content. So you can see it added emojis, formatted really well for a LinkedIn style post, and even added hashtags in at the end to help drive some more traffic. This is the power of what you can do instantly when you're running multimodal and agentic applications using Chrome. Now, the next one I want to show you guys is AppGen. And this was a side passion project one of our engineers put together. And this allows you to build simple micro applications, all using AI in a matter of seconds. And so you can select here between the different models. I like to use the Qwen 2.5 coder because it's really good at writing code for programs. But you guys have a particular app you want me to try to have it make? Cool. Any details on the personal finance app? Or? Stay tuned for that. More things come in the coming months, but we've really focused on standing up where the huge demand in the market is right now, and has been on like the LLMs and the audio, but more capabilities like image and video generation are coming soon. But you said an expenditure calculator with inputs and outputs. Maybe we had And let's say for fun, we'll say so let's go ahead and create that. So it's generating the code for the app on the backside. And now we've instantly generated that personal finance app. So it looks like, it already has some like pre-fills for that. You can add in, you want the category to be bills. So let's say that bill is $15. And it doesn't look like this drop down so well. Since the drop downs aren't going to say the So I'm asking it to make that a freeform field because the drop down's not functioning. And so regenerate the code on the side. $20, I can book it now. In the category, we'll say this is so now that expense. But you notice that font's actually really hard to read. So I'm asking to make that font black. But as you can see, I can iterate very quickly back and forth with this application while using AI generated code to adapt it to what I want it to actually do at the end of the day. So let's see if that actually works. Now that text is in black. It's just the power of how you can use AI to really assist your coding. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why we have the share button built in right here. So you can then actually just generate a name and a description automatically using AI. And then I can click share. And so now I have a link that I can then send that to your friends or, bookmark it on your phone and, use it anytime you want. It'll persist that state with the code that will save onto the site.
So it'll keep track of like different data.
Yeah, so this is all completely free. You don't even need to sign in to use this application. If you just go to appgen.grokklabs.com, you can use it anytime you want. But this is really just intended to show what you can do with AI generated code. I mean, I use it on the side all the time to build some micro apps to help enhance my productivity. But we never designed this as a end paid product. It's really just to demonstrate the possibilities of how you can implement AI generated code to iterate really quickly and build out prototypes. It is very lightweight too, so we didn't design it to be like making a full production application if you went off of it. But it could be a great starting point. You can copy the code base that it generates on the side. That's a little copy button right there, and then put that into, let's say, your VS Code or whatever you're building for your application, and then use that as a starting point, or even help debug your code. Yeah, it's just appgen.grokklabs.com. Yeah, and if you guys want to see other demos that we have available for you all, anytime you want to check them out, go to grok.com/showcase. This has a carousel of open source projects that our teams put together to help inspire people and unleash possibilities. And for the vast majority of all these, they're open source. We link to the Git repo, so you can fork that and use that as a starter. Grok.com/showcase. Or if you just go to grok.com and you click on the developer tab, then you just click on showcase, and that's how you can access it. So with that, I'll open up to any other questions you guys might have. Yeah. Yeah, so repeat back the question, what is like the business model for Grok? Yeah, so what we're doing is we're selling tokens as a service, if you would. So if you're familiar with like software as a service, Now just adapt that for Gen AI and its tokens. So we have the different offerings, and actually I'll pull up the console to show you guys. So if we go to console.grok.com, you can see within here, there's 3 different tiers we currently offer. So the free tier, always free. It's just lower rate limits, but will never expire. Then if you want to get higher rate limits, have access to things like flex and batch processing, which allows you to submit like a bulk workload that doesn't need real-time response. Gets that for the developer tier, and that's just paid per token. All of our cost per token is very low versus all the other providers because we're completely vertically integrated. Since we built everything from the chip and stand it up into the cloud, we have very good cost infrastructure and allow to offer these models on demand to you all for very cheap in terms of dollar per million tokens. And then once you go beyond that, we have our enterprise tier for more enterprise-focused customers that need to go beyond just what you get from the on-demand tier in terms of rate limits, SLAs, or if you needed a custom model or things like that, we'll deploy that and post it in our cloud and make it accessible to you. And so we're really in the business of selling tokens and enabling that to help inspire the world to build the next generation of applications. Yeah.
So one thing I can do is need scan cache. There's a lot of some, especially some questions and some caches is caching. As you are right now, which recommend the build today, recommend for putting up a service, integrating with Block Cloud, start with the scan cache service for Block Cloud. Is that possibly important?
Yeah, good question. So I'd say as it is right now, work with like an integrated tool provider to offer that in your application. We actually do have a cookbook on that, I believe. So if we go to documentation and then click on API cookbook, this is to our open source Git repo that has a number of different cookbooks to help get you started, show you how to do different tricks. And there is one in here on caching. I'll have to find the right one and I'll send it to you. But yeah, so I'd recommend using another provider and that integrates very well with Grok. We even find the integrators that we don't even officially list in our console for all of them. There's a number that have native integrations with Grok, so they want to offer that to their user base. We're looking at things like that in the future. I don't have anything I can share right now in terms of timelines, but we're constantly looking to increase the offerings and new tips and tricks like that, new techniques to help make it more useful for our users. And so we actually get a lot of that inspiration from our Discord channel. So if you guys join our Discord and you have a specific type of feature or something you want to ask for, there's a whole sub-channel on our Discord specifically for that. And we're constantly going through that and using it to influence our roadmap. Because at the end of the day, we want to add stuff that's useful for you all and that you guys are actually desiring to walk. Any other questions? If not, I will be here for a little bit afterwards before I have to take off. So I know we think you guys are going to pizza after this, but thank you guys so much and excited to see what you put together over the course of this boot camp.
Yeah, checking that right now with Kale. By the way, a lot of the participants here, they are participating in the hackathons that we are having this weekend, the OMI hackathon, the wearable, we have some these. There are more hackathons through this weekend. There's going to be hackathon this weekend too. Do you have any ideas for people to pursue with Grok right now? Any things that are very cool, things for them to hack on, maybe ideas that you want to throw for them?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say I love hackathons. I go to a bunch of hackathons these days, collegiate and professional ones, and it's so cool to see what folks can put together in like 36 hours. I would encourage you guys to look at multimodal and agentic applications, especially agentic applications. And when you have complex AI pipelines with numerous agents, drafting, reviewing, etc., that requires each one of those agents to be really fast. So it's a great use case for Grok speed. But when you add in multiple modalities, that unleashes new possibilities of what you can do. So the one I showed you with Blog Wizard, that's using both audio and text. But you can even do things with, image by taking the image to text from things like Llama 3.2, 11B, and 90B. But the best advice I give for folks participating in hackathons, they always come up to me when I'm venturing. They're like, "What should I build? Like, how do I know I have a winning project?" What I tell them is, if your project is something that you would pay for or invest in, that's how you know it's going to win.
That's a great suggestion. And for example, when competing with the hundreds of other developers, if they don't know Grok, if they don't know about fast inferences or the vision-enabled models that we have now, this can be a competitive advantage, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned about like vision models. There is like text to image too. Would you suggest some of these resources going to go and be ahead of their competition by using Grok?
Definitely. And like, even if you're just using LLMs on Grok, that wow factor you get from the speed helps impress the judges and allows you to make something a lot more complex so you can actually show off and be violent. The other thing I would say for hackathons, focus on the presentation aspect. I've seen folks win hackathons where their application didn't fully work, but they did a great job at selling the vision and presenting. So you need to make sure you spend some time on that too. A lot of folks get bogged down with just focusing on the coding side, but the presentation side is really important in order to like sell your project and influence the judges to make them want to nominate you for the winning prize.
Yeah. No, that's very, very important.
Yes. Thank you, Sari.
That's a very good. 1% at one. Okay. Kale, let's have round 16 again. We have a question from the chat if you want to pick later about the QR code to sign up for Grok Cloud. If you want to pull that up again later.
Yeah. Let me flash that back. Yeah, so that's the QR code. There we go. Now it's popped up on my side.
Thank you.
But yeah, you can also just go to console.grok.com. QR code's actually the same place. And I will say you can sign up with your email address, your Google account, or your GitHub account. Just do not sign up with a Yahoo, Outlook, or Hotmail email address. We actually banned those domains. We got a bunch of abuse from folks with those email addresses. So you will get an error saying you can't create your account if you try to use one of those. And if you guys are interested in the How to Win a Hackathon guide, it's on our blog, but this is a great tutorial that 2 of our current interns who've won numerous hackathons actually put together with tips and tricks on how to win and what to think about when you're doing your project planning. And we even have resources at the end to help you guys get started, including like a front-end based template and a number of example projects, as well as external projects that folks have built at hackathons. We've actually, over the past year since we started doing hackathons, have now over 700 dev post projects powered by Grok.
Oh, that's wonderful. What's this link again?
For the dev post?
For this one, it's grok.com/blog. Okay.
Yeah, you can just go to grok.com/blog. I'll show you. When you go there, it takes you to this page, and then you just click on the How to Win a Hackathon.
Okay, good. This picture, is this the meta hackathon? What's there? Yeah. What a coincidence. That's wonderful. Very cool. Well, that's good. Any other questions? We had about 100 people online. Console.ground. Okay, that's good. No other questions. That's great. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot, Graham. It's great for coming today. We're going to have a lot of hackathon winners. Confident on that.
There we go. And if you guys build something cool, we do have a form on our showcase page. We're constantly looking for cool new applications to showcase. We constantly share them on our social pages, give you guys some love. So if you build something cool, reach out, and who knows, we might feature your work.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, one last question.
How important is
I would say like not much at all, especially if you're doing like vibe coding and part programming with like the LLM. And if you're familiar with using like any OpenAI endpoint, it's literally the same work you would do. Like all our endpoints are OpenAI compatible because we want it to be easy for folks to get up and running. And then we have all of like the quick start examples, the cookbook tutorials. So it's really easy just to get up and running and build that out.
You can basically pick all of the templates that we did with OpenAI and replace with Grok with the platform. I was showcasing for them before, so you pick that API key that you have, replace in the OpenAI package, TypeScript or Python, and you change the URL for Grok, right?
Yeah, you just change the base URL to the Grok chat completions one, enter your API key, select the model you want to use, and you're up and running. It's literally 3 lines of code. I've seen whole enterprises change over on the fly to use Grok from like OpenAI because it's that easy.
And you can use the whole thing like vision, image generation, all of that compatible with the API, right?
Yeah, we don't have image generation supported yet. That's coming, but
you have vision.
Yeah, the vision recognition with the Llama 3.2, 11B, and 90.
Okay, wonderful. No, that's great. Awesome. Well, a big round of applause.
Thank you all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's get our hands on before the pizza arrives. We have about half an hour for the last part of this workshop. Here we have Kale. Kale online managing the. Hello, Kale. Oh, good. If you have questions from the audience, let me know. What you've done here. One place is that. I did. Bro, you're asking me to order pizza. I did. I don't mess with pizza.
Mateus, you think we're ready to go ahead and wrap this live stream?
Yeah, we would do a small workshop now of building the things, but if we don't have
Oh no, we got playtime. Yeah, you're still getting. I thought the pizza was already there. Let's dive in.
yeah, good. Do you guys have any follow-up questions for now? Yeah. Okay, if it's specific for a project, can help. The idea, people, is that now any application that we have that we can use OpenAI APIs, that OpenAI package, we can now replace by using Grok APIs. Remember, I was demonstrating this. Let me share my screen. Just make sure that I'm sharing here. Yes, I'm sharing. So, if you go for the console, the Grok console. Let's see if I'm still logging in. Console.grok.com. I need to log in again. I can create those API keys here. Remember, I was showing this a while ago. So I have 3 that I have created a while. One for using with Creo AI, one for using in my Linux, another for the Hackathon. I can create another API key here. I can give a name like EthSF, Bootcamp, test, whatever. Verify that I'm human for some reason. Am I human? Well, let's find out. And here's my key. You can delete it later if you want. This key can enable me to connect with Grok APIs at any time now. There is a very quick documentation for that. I'll show that for you in the docs. If you go for computer's not answering. If you go for console.grok.com/docs, you're going to see all of this quick start documentation. Okay. So basically, all that you need for making Grok to work with OpenAI, you can just swap that URL, or if you want, you can create your application with this Grok SDK here. If you go the path of Next.js like we were doing, we would do like this: npm install Grok SDK, but you can also use that with OpenAI compatibility. See that other link? So you can pick exactly the same exercise we were doing, but you can swap here. Instead of using OpenAI, you can use, instead of using OpenAI default link, you can just swap for this base URL. Okay. Let's do a quick demonstration of that. I'm going to pick one example from OpenAI docs, and I'm going to execute here with Grok for you to see how quick it is. Okay, I'm going to go for platform.openai. Pick one of the examples in their documentation. This is not piracy or anything like that. Okay, it's just being compliant and being compatible. This is what interfaces are for. And for example, if I pick the quick start the JavaScript quick start here for OpenAI for running this script. I can use the same code here that I'm using OpenAI with this model, but then I can swap for using this other URL with models that are accessible by Grok. Okay, we have two options here: JavaScript or Python. We have those two options here. What do you prefer? I think both of them. Python, 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 Python. No one is here for JavaScript. No JavaScript. Okay, let's do another. Okay, so Python wins. I would vote for JavaScript, but okay. Come on, people, we want to build apps, right? Do you want to use Flask, Django for building apps? Maybe you're going to use Gradle. Okay, no, just kidding. Let's go with Python. So I'm going to create, I guess I don't even need the OS here. I'm not going to use my environment. I'm going to create a new folder. Let's pick like desktop. Why not? I have some things in my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Grok test. Okay, and I'm going to create a Python virtual environment in this folder VM. Okay, and then I'm going to activate this virtual environment here. I'm going to install the things. So source. Okay. If you're new to Python, you need just some prerequisites here for installing Python on your machine. Maybe it's going to be named Python 3, whatever. Then you create a virtual environment for you to install things, and you're good to go. Very, very quick. Then I'm going to copy the code that I have from OpenAI. Developer quick start with Python. I do have my API key in my computer already. Let me show that for you. Echo. I'm not going to print my whole key, but I'm going to print the first 3 characters just to prove that I do have it there. So SK-3 dots, because I do have my OpenAI key. You can test that for your environment. If you don't have, you need to export. You need to do something like export OpenAI key, like we did in the first lesson, so that you can have it working on your system. Otherwise, you would hard code that in the file, and it would work. Okay. I'm going to create a new file with nano, whatever you might want to do, called test.py. And then I'm going to paste this code here. Okay. It's going to use the OpenAI library to connect me to OpenAI using these default configurations. For sending a message, using this model, write and move the sentence, bedtime story about a unicorn, something like that. Okay. I started my company and brings it a billion. Not this kind of unicorn investment. This is not running the GPT-4 all on my machine, of course. It's not like OLAN. This is going to be a online call for the online inference, normal online inference. I'm using the cloud of OpenAI, of course. This is the default configuration that they suggest for Python. Let me save this. Ctrl X, yes. Here I'm using Nano, but you can use whatever you want for creating that file. You can use Notepad, you can use VS Code, you can use Vim, whatever you want. Just remember how to create Vim later. And we have this file there. Okay. I have just one file inside this folder, the test, my virtual environment is enabled. And I'm going to run this inference. So I'm going to run with Python, this test.py. Of course. I skipped a very important detail. I forgot to install the package. Yeah, before running OpenAI, you gotta install it first with Python. So you gotta do something like this. Pip, Python package manager. They should have this explained somewhere here. They don't have any docs, but I remember how to do it. It is pip install OpenAI, just that, okay? because otherwise we don't know what is OpenAI in the Python script. Sorry for skipping that step. I should have done that before the file. If you use it nano, you can exit with Ctrl X from the text. And then you choose the option yes. See. But you can use Notepad or any text editor that you prefer. Don't need to use nano. Okay, now I have OpenAI installed. I should have done that before. Sorry about that. Now I can run this test.py. This is going to use the OpenAI package to call OpenAI staffers and do this inference for us. Also, upon a magical evening, a unicorn with shimmer rainbow, main gently trockle to a moonlit forest, blah 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 blah. Okay, I suggest a slightly better version of that script. I don't know why they do that like that in the documentation, but I prefer, instead of having the content hard coded, I usually do something like this. Input. This is something that we can do in Python. Input, like this. And then we write something like say something like this. And Python is going to handle this command, waiting for us to type something. It's not needed, just to show a different way. So say something. I should put a /n. So it should be like what were the first, the past capitals of Brazil? So this is going to use OpenAI to answer. So Brazil had 2 official capitals before its current capital, Brasilia. The first was Salvador, then Rio de Janeiro, and they only got worst all time. Just kidding. I like Brasilia. It's just that whatever. Let's skip that subject. Another topic. So this is calling OpenAI with this model, right? Let me just add a little space here, or dash in, wherever. So say something. Okay, good. Now let's do a little change in this. In this first line where I have this client, let me open that in Cursor. Remember Cursor from yesterday? Who don't know Cursor from here? It's a fork from VS Code. We can use client on it too from the first lesson. We can use Cursor directly. I'm going to pick this test.py to change some lines of code. I'm going to change this line to, instead of calling OpenAI directly, I'm going to follow the documentation from Grok. I'm going to change the base URL to this link that they have in the documentation, like this, with this base URL. Oops. Like an interpreter. Just 1 second. I should put that somewhere. Sorry, what's the question? They have this package, this native package here on the quick start. If you want, you can. It has some more capabilities, but they are 100% compatible with OpenAI. So you don't necessarily need to swap. You can keep your current code. Super simple to change, but you can even keep your current code. And I'm going to use this key that I have here, hard coded. So instead of using the environment, I'm going to put this key as I have. This is my key, hard coded here, is far from ideal. And instead of using this model, GPT-4o, let me pick one of the models that we have available with Grok. Is here. So Sweet. Graham, before you go, any model that you would suggest? I'm swapping OpenAI for Grok here. Some cool one for us to demonstrate today.
But you want something more for like in this case, like other if you want something more
Okay. DeepSeek could be good. Let me find it here in the documentation. It's available on the free plan. It is, right? The 7B. Okay, that's one that's powerful. Okay. So we're going to put the model. We changed the URL, the base URL for targeting Grok. I put my API key here. Unless you want to type it there, you might want to put your own API key, but it's for free. And then we're going to pick one of these models that Graham suggested. And that's all. I can start targeting Grok. Let me test it out. Oops, something is crazy here. Activate my vote environment here. Now let me do the Python. Here. Say something. So, what is the capital of France? Oops, model's not. Let me see if I pick the correct model. Let me try with a simple one. Let me try with the Llama 37B. Maybe that one didn't go through. Sorry about that. Say something. What is the capital of France? Okay. It worked. Maybe it was just the name of the model that was a little off, or I did something wrong. Probably copied something wrong. And here we are indeed using the Llama 3 dot something. Llama 3 70 billion 8192 using this model with this version for doing the inference. And I can pick very capable models, and I can ask it to generate quite big things for us. Let me clear that. Let me do this test, asking a big story. Tell me a long story about pirates, about space pirates, even cooler than pirates, about space pirates. This is going to take a little while, 3-4 seconds, remember? And boom, here the whole story with thousands of tokens, more than 1,000 of tokens in 4 seconds. And you can provide that for your end user. Imagine doing that in a hackathon. Imagine you generate a whole code base. You can generate a whole book in 2 minutes. I do have a project that's doing that. I can generate lessons in under a minute, in 30 seconds, like a full lesson on how to code with Python using Grok API. Fully compatible, 100% compatible with anything that you do with OpenAI. We just need to change how many lines of code? 300, 500 lines of code? No, 4 lines of code. The base URL, the API key, and the model, 3 lines of code. Actually, I changed this one just to have this input. So we changed 4 lines of code. I just had to change 3 actually. Base URL, API key, and model. And they're good to go for using Grok in your hacker versions. Anything that you do with OpenAI, you can just port for using Grok here and have way faster inferences for cheap. Sounds good? Wonderful. And that's it. We're going to have pizza in 10 minutes. If you have any questions, any follow-up, links that actually I do have a QR code for you to scan. It's the same one that I did a while ago, but we didn't have this many people. So if you are looking for resources for this hackathon, if you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking to find team members, if you, let's say you want increased break limits, you can try and get them with Prem, maybe Grok will help some too for the test out. If you want to get grants, we have grants for the only hackathon like that. We have grants for ongoing. There are a lot of resources that we can help you. Please fill this form with your project name, with your GitHub. You can even update your submission later if you want. You just need to use the same email, and then you're going to have the check boxes to check what you need for this hackathon. Okay? We're going to have a demo day for you all to showcase your projects. We're going to have after parties after the hackathons. Colin, you wanted to call out for the demo day? You want to wrap up with these call to actions?
Yeah, we can put this link on there. I think we'll put this link up on our.
Yeah, we can. I can share a screen or anything like that too.
What's called here?
Okay, and that's it. Yeah, Kale, any questions from the audience? Let me check.
You're all caught up, my friend.
That's wonderful. Yes. Thank you everyone for participating. Tomorrow we have the last day to wrap up. We're going to have more things about Omi. We're going to have more from Dabl Code, more about agents, and I want to prepare you all very well fed to the hackathon and very well fed in knowledge and in pizza, of course. Okay? So thank you all for coming. I hope to see you very successful in this weekend. Let me know what I can help you all. Okay? And we're going to have pizza in just in a while. Thank you, people.
See you later, Mateus.